Just out making some plant videos today. It was a bit hard to go past this one, just on the end of a bushland block. I guess just for some additional education, I'll add it in. This is a beautiful pink spider flower, Grevillea sericea. And this specimen's absolutely fantastic. It is natural. It's here in a bit of remnant bushland at Bonnet Bay Public School, just in Sutherland Shire. And it's in full cry at the moment with flowers. There's honeybees all over it. European honeybees. There's probably the odd native. Yeah, I'm just looking at a native bee now as well, I think. I might even be looking at a fly. But plenty of insects on it, plenty of honeybees on it. Grevillea sericea, it's really common in Sutherland Shire. It's one of the ones we sort of like down here. It's a New South Wales only species. It goes south to about Wollongong, and then it goes up north to the sort of Newcastle area and punches through to the Hunter Valley. The furthest west I've ever seen them is about Mudgee. That's about the western extent of their range, or the northwestern extent, and then it sort of comes southeast from there into Sydney and down to Wollongong. It's got a range of forms as well, shorter leaf forms and fatter leaved, and then longer and thinner. And it's a little bit similar, I guess, allied to Grevillea linearifolia, which is the white-flowered one on north of the harbour. If you want to check out that one, I've seen it in the bush around Taronga Zoo and those sort of areas, but that's got white flowers and very linear leaves, and it's sort of the northern suburbs Grevillea that you get in Sydney, or one of the ones anyway. Grevillea sericea, one of the things I tell people is if you didn't have it in flower and you're just wondering whether it's a Grevillea or not, just turn the leaves over. And they've got a silvery sheen on the underside. That's what a lot of Grevilleas have, just those silvery hairs. You can see them there. So I can be out in the middle of nowhere and I might have a Grevillea, and I suspect it's a Grevillea. What I do a lot of the time, I just turn it over, and if I'm getting those silvery hairs, it just leads me straight away to think it's a Grevillea. They've got alternate leaves as well. Alternate leaves all the time in Grevillea. I've never met one that's got opposite. Silvery hairs underneath, and this sericea puts on a really nice sheen. Sericea means sericeous, which refers to silky hairs, probably on the underside of the leaves or maybe on the new growth, but I'd say it's referring to the underside of the leaves more than anything. The leaves have got a mucro on them. They've got a short pungent point. So a lot of Grevilleas have that, but this guy's got a pretty pronounced, just a bit of callous tip on, it's like a little thorn there on the tip of the leaf. Gives it a little sharp, weak point there. It's not overly prickly, but that's typical for a lot of Grevilleas. You can see the flowers here, they're in full cry at the moment. These beautiful spider clustered racemes, which they're described as in Grevillea. You're probably aware of the flower setup in a lot of the Proteaceae. We've just got a perianth of 4 tepals. That's down the bottom there of the flower. And in those 4 tepals, there's 4 anthers. The anthers might be coming out there. I think they're sort of fused to the perianth parts, I believe. Like, we might even be able to see the pollen grains there, but the anthers are sort of on thin filaments fused to those 4 segments which make up the perianth, and then the female part is that bit coming out there up to the top of my finger. That's the carpel, the style and the stigma at the end trying to capture a bit of pollen. So all those are put together in a cluster. So there's just, I could pull off an individual flower, which is there, just there where that leaf is, just in the middle of the screen there. That's one individual Grevillea flower, and sometimes they're in those toilet brush clusters, or they're in those toothbrush clusters, or here they're in the spider clusters. So yeah, that's just one Proteaceae flower. And if you think of flowers in a Banksia spike, or a Hakea spike, or a Hakea raceme I should say, they're very similar structured all through the Proteaceae family. They've got a very sort of different flower structure to a lot of other plants, but they're still very showy. Grevillea sericea, it tends to like sandstone. It does get on the shale sandstone transition. And I think sometimes you can find it on more of a clay soil, but a lot of the time it does like the sandstone, Hawkesbury sandstone country or rocky areas. There's no problem putting them in your garden. You can get one like this, prune it up. It'll do exactly what this one's doing. I've grown a few of them in my time. Just make sure the drainage is okay. If you put them on a bit of a hill, they do really well. This one's on a slope, a pretty good slope, about maybe 3/4 of the way up the ridge here, just on the higher ground. They do very well in the garden. The pink spider flower, you should try to grow one. Remember the Grevilleas, they've got the terminal flowers. So compare it to Grevillea sericea, which has a very different foliage, but it's got the flowers down in the leaf axils. What we've known Grevillea for is putting the flowers out on the terminals. The terminals are the branches. So they're all out at the terminals like that. So yeah, New South Wales only species. It's probably been planted interstate now. I'm not aware of it being weedy or anything like that. But it's a really good Sydney one to learn. Pretty easy one. Even when it's not in flower, the leaves and the sort of size of the plant and the habitat give it away. There's some similar ones like Sphasolata and Buxifolia and Philocoides. They're all in a group. They've got a different coloured inflorescence, different coloured flowers. The leaves look a little bit different as well, but they're the only ones you might confuse it with. But that's a beautiful Grevillea sericea. When it's in seedling stage, the leaves can be in whorls of 3. You can just get leaves in groups of 3 or whorls of 3 as it's coming up from the seedling stage. So just watch out for that, possibly after bushfire. But this has got so many bees on it. It's doing a great job of providing some resource on a sunny day now that all the 5 days of rain have stopped. So look out for this one at your local nursery or Sutherland Shire Bush Care Nursery. You can pick one up. Well worth growing, Grevillea sericea.